Welcome back, guys, for another episode of the No Shill podcast, episode number
5.
5. I don't know if we have anybody in the chat yet. It says we got people in here already. We'll wait till people comment before we start talking about everything.
Our loyal subjects are here to join us at 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday night.
There we go. We got Ghost Tab. We got Omega Magnus.
JJ,
Good morning,
what's up?
JJ. From my side of the US, Black VR. What's up? What is going on? Happy Thursday, or wherever you're at. Happy Friday.
Hell yeah. So thanks for joining us tonight on an odd day. Obviously, we have big news that rocked the toy industry this morning. So we're going to talk about that.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get into that we'll get into that in a few minutes when more people hop onto the live stream.
Ghost Tab, it's 1 a.m. here. You're on the East Coast.
What's up, Cerrone Games, Handburger. What's going on? It's Omega Maximus, like Maximus the Gladiator. I prefer McFarlane over Mattel. We're going to be talking about that. We are going to be talking about that. We're going to give it a couple more minutes before we start the show. Let a few more people hop on. Hope everyone's doing well. It is Thursday night.
It's Thursday night, yeah.
We actually do have a sponsor now for the show.
We do.
Believe it or not, for the No Shill podcast, we officially have a sponsor. So, Carlos, go ahead and talk about our new sponsorship we have going on here.
Yeah. So our sponsor, which is sponsoring tonight's video live stream, is Toy Depot Whittier. So if you guys are in the Southern California area, every time we do a podcast, so a Thursday and a Friday, there will be 10% off. If you go to Toy Depot Whittier, you just mention No Shill. They'll give you 10% off your purchase on Thursday and Friday. So, yeah, that's it. So, shout out to Kevin and Mike. Thank you for sponsoring the podcast. And, yeah, that's it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's a start here, guys. So, Toy Depot, guys, you've seen me film there at their store many times. It is like Carlos said, 10% off. And if you guys are local in the area, stop by Toy Depot, say No Shill podcast, and you can get 10% off of your purchase. Maybe down the line, I mean, who knows? We can start doing some giveaways, or maybe make a percentage up even higher down the line. We'll see how it goes. Equan says, man, I miss SoCal. We went to TJ every weekend, hit up Gene Hackman. Yeah, you know what? Before we start talking about stuff, let's talk about the Gene Hackman situation, man. So I found out about this. I woke up randomly in the middle of the night last night and saw the post. And I was like, to be honest with you, I thought Gene Hackman already died. But I mean, I know he's been retired, and then you find out he passed away, his wife passed away, and one of his dogs passed away, which is nuts.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and then you find out there's more stuff to it. I mean, look into it, guys. I know it seems like they were dead for a while. Apparently, Gene Hackman's body was mummified because they've been there, and there's more to it. But we don't want to damper the mood here on the No Shill podcast. But RIP to Gene Hackman. Recently watched Unforgiven not too long ago. It was an amazing movie. You got a Gene Hackman movie you really like?
Enemy of the State with Will Smith.
You know what? I've never seen that movie.
It's really good. I'm not a big Will Smith fan, but that's like one of my favorite Will Smith movies.
All right. Well, any news before we start the main topic, Carlos? Anything you want to say or shout out or talk about for your channel?
I was just going to say Venom by, yes, keeps bringing up Michelle Trachtenberg, who passed away the day before, which was also pretty sad. She was only 39. She died from
that's right, from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah,
liver failure of liver transplant. Yeah.
So that sucks. She was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She was in one of my favorite, well, I won't say favorite movies, but one of my probably top 50 comedies, Euro Trip. That movie's so funny. So yeah, that sucked. We lost Gene Hackman. And they say it always happens in threes. So not to dampen the mood, but hopefully we don't hear anything tomorrow morning or during the day of any other celebrity passing away, because it's been crazy. As far as my channel, I have a new video out next Wednesday. I don't freaking forgot what day it was.
RosCon.
Yeah, RosCon. Next Wednesday at 7, from 7 to 8:30. I just have a new podcast series that I'm doing, just called T3 Connects with, and then I'll have a guest on. Maybe every day. I might do it every day. I may do it once a week. I haven't decided, but I'm doing that. And Toy Depot is also sponsoring that. So we're getting.
Can I be on the podcast for an episode?
You're inviting yourself on?
Yeah, invite me on for a podcast episode.
Perfect. Done.
Huh.
Let me talk to the board of directors. Good? Is he good? All right, you're good.
All right. Well, as for me, I'm back to, I think I'm back to daily toy hunts. I'm not 100% sure yet. And I know I mentioned the last time we went live that I was going to go into that vintage guy's garage, but kind of got stood up on that one. So that didn't happen, but I am going to be shooting a few videos this weekend. And I actually have a interview that I'm shooting next weekend. It's going to be pre-recorded. It's not going to be live. This is a big one for me because I just started falling in love with this company about two years ago, or a little over a year ago. And I'm going to be having the guys behind the scenes. Am I saying that right? The guys behind Mondo. So I'm going to have 3 people from Mondo Toys or Mondo News, whatever you want to call them. They go by Mondo News. So that they are going to be on the channel. I'm going to pre-record it next Wednesday, the day I go to the Deftones show. But that video probably won't be out until that following Saturday. So if you guys want to talk Mondo Toys, I'm going to have some of the people from Mondo on the channel. So I'm really excited for that one. I'm really, really excited for that one, to have them on. So that's going to be happening, hopefully. Well, it'll definitely be happening next week, but when I air it, is probably going to either be the following Saturday, which is not this coming Saturday, the following, or that following week. So Mondo Toys is going to be on the channel. Yes, sir.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm super hyped. I got my questions. Oh, you know what, guys? Also, I did post a picture of Mondo, of me, on the community tab of a thumbnail that Carlos did for me. If you guys have any questions for Mondo Toys that you want to know regarding their 1/6 scale lines or their Sofubi lines, comment in that post, and I can read off your name and your comment to the guys from Mondo. So there you go. I'll probably post that on Instagram too. All right. The main topic. So I got word early this morning, from Kevin Tran, Kevin the artist. He sent me a post saying Mattel is getting the rights back for DC. And it's on LA Times. I know some people have been messaging me saying it's not true. And oh boy, is it true. Right, Carlos?
It is 100% true.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know to what extent it's going to be. I mean, it says in the LA Times post that they're going to be doing action figures, role plays, vehicles. I don't know about Spin. It doesn't say anything about Spin Master, right? Like if they're going to stop or not. I know somebody on the inside who kind of said that it is a sad day in McFarlane Toys. That's all I know. They said they're not 100% sure with DC Direct, what's going to happen with DC Direct. I don't know, because DC Direct was not owned by Mattel back in the day when Mattel did have the license. So for all we know, McFarlane can still work for DC Direct, but we don't know yet. We don't know, but Mattel is taking over DC. And first off, Carlos, how do you feel about this?
You know me, I am probably the biggest McFarlane Toys, well, I should say DC Multiverse critic. There's some that I love, there's a lot I don't like. It was interesting to see that news pop up because Toy Fair is literally going on right now. So um, I wasn't too sure what to think about it at first. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And honestly, like my first thing was like, oh, now everyone thinks that McFarlane's going to go after Marvel Legends, which isn't happening. So I don't really know. Like I never collected any of the Mattel stuff. I remember seeing it in discount stores like Big Lots a lot. Um, but I know I've heard like a lot of people say they sucked. So I heard some people say they really loved them. So I don't know. I have a lot of DC Multiverse, and I'm actually really glad that I finally built my Justice League team. So that's very cool. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I think McFarlane did some really good sculpts over the last maybe year and a year and a half.
I think longer than that.
I mean, there's some that are good. There's some that are like I wish there was just more. Like
There
we've
had some
talked about
issues
this,
though.
yeah, we've talked about it on the podcast. We've talked about it off air and stuff. Like the Platinum Edition Azrael Batman that came out last year. There's like that thing looks great, but there's still a lot of stuff missing from it. So that kind of like it's little things like that. I don't know if Mattel is going to be that in depth. So who knows? I'm hoping they learned their from the first time when they had them to now. So hopefully now that they have them, they'll improve a lot of things. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Um, we'll get to your guys in the chat in a second. We're gonna get to your guys's. We'll start talking to you guys in a second. I am reading your comments though. As for me, so when I got back into collecting back in 2011, the DC UC line was already out. So I own tons of DC UC figures. And they did a lot of different lines. They did, Public Enemies. They did this DC superheroes, and yeah, they are 6 inches. To me, they looked more animated and more comic booky. McFarlane, well, we talked about this earlier. McFarlane's are way better sculpt, way better paint. So there's a total difference in Mattel and McFarlane. And McFarlane brought us vehicles. McFarlane brought us play sets. So I don't know if this is going to be a step up or a step down, but Mattel definitely needs to step it up. They can't be there. I mean, you mentioned it before. Their WWE figures are cool. Like their head scans definitely look a lot better. Their Masters figures are cool, but they still look very animated, very smooth, not textured, not sculpted a certain way how McFarlane did it. Yeah, they can give us Build-A-Figures, but McFarlane went all out. McFarlane was pumping out all these figures on a regular basis, giving us all these exclusives. I know Mattel can give us variants because they gave us variants in the past. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm like excited, but at the same time, I'm really sad because I love the McFarlane DC Multiverse, and like I said, he gave us a lot of figures. Yes, he gave us a lot of Batmans, but he gave us a lot of figures, and he gave us a lot of vehicles, a lot of, like I said, play sets, and he gave us DC Direct back. He brought back DC Direct. He gave us statues. He gave us 66 Batman. He's given us life-size cowls. There's so much he's doing, and then now to think it's gone, and it's crazy because he's won Toy of the Year how many times for DC Multiverse? Once or twice?
He won last year. I don't remember if he did win.
I think he won twice, but it's like, dude, what happened? Like, how did he lose this? But again, we don't know if he still could be attached to DC Direct, but we don't know.
Yeah, there's things that we don't know still.
But yeah, it's true. Like, look at this is so true right here. I said this to you before. He did a great job with 66 Batman, but I will admit this, guys. Mattel did give us some pretty good 66 Batman figures, and they gave us a better Batmobile for the 66 Batmobile. They gave us a bigger Batmobile. The figures fit in there perfectly for the 66 Batmobile. I still have my 66 Batmobile. So from Mattel and from McFarlane. So they did give us a accurate size Batmobile. But yeah, it's still, they have to step it up. They're going to have to step it up. And again, I like their figures that came out prior to McFarlane. And you can't say you hate them. I mean, we didn't have anything like McFarlane back then. You know what I mean? Like that we're doing figures like DC, other than DC Direct. DC Direct was more limited articulation but better sculpt. And I think Mattel definitely needs to step it up. They're going to have to surpass what McFarlane did. They have to. They have to do. They can't go a step down.
No.
So
I agree. I agree with you.
okay, so,
it's hard because like the Masterverse line when that first came out, like it was okay. And then they just the new wave, I think the new, I can't remember, is it called New Attorney? I think like whatever that newer wave that came out last year, like the articulation got better, the sculpts got better, they started giving them more weapons, accessories, and stuff. They're starting to toy into more. I guess they're going to start doing like soft goods on some of those. I mean, they have a Skeletor with a freaking throne that lights up. It's so sick. It's $70, but I've seen like reviews, and I have a friend that has it, and it's awesome.
I've seen it in person.
Yeah, it's awesome. So it's just like if they can do that kind of stuff, like a playset or anything like that, like they do that Skeletor that lights up, they could do that with the DC Multiverse line, but better. It'll be, I think everyone's like worries will be, okay. I think everything will just be okay. But then again, a lot of the WWE elites aren't all that great. Like the face scans have improved so much over the last, I don't know,
the face scans,
years.
Yeah.
They've gotten so much better. But the
sculpting's not the same. Yeah. It's like having a Hasbro Marvel Legend. It's not textured and sculpted like a McFarlane toys is.
Yeah. And the one thing that I do appreciate with Mattel and their scans is if a comic book character has tattoos, they're gonna scan it on the toy to look exactly like the tattoos. Like McFarlane would cut corners and paint.
Yeah, he would.
So say it was all around the body, and then you look at the backside, and there's just nothing there. That's the only thing I don't
like. Is he losing the superpowers too? We don't know because that is part of DC Direct.
Yeah, that is part of DC Direct.
So we're not 100% sure. And then this question here from Hamburger. We're not going to see anything at Toy Fair because this just got announced today. And it is said that they're going to be taking over at the second half of 2026. So McFarlane has a year to start pumping out whatever the hell he can pump out before Mattel takes over.
Yeah, so the second half of next year would end in June. And from my understanding, somewhere I was reading that Mattel takes over in June and their first wave will hit either late June, early or mid-July or something like that. And I was like, dang, they already had this in the works, it sounds like.
Let's see. I remember the very last Mattel wave did change to McFarlane. Mattel was getting better. I don't know if Mattel was getting better, but they're not a bad company. They're not bad, but it's going to be crazy if they don't improve their sculpts. It's going to be so crazy going from McFarlane and then stepping back down to like a Marvel Legends style mold. I'm not saying that Marvel Legends is bad, but it's not as detailed. You know what I mean? It's not as detailed. So that's the thing. Since here I feel like McFarlane might be trying to go Marvel. Seems he's always associated with them. Carlos, what do you think about that?
So obviously everyone knows that McFarlane has a license agreement with Marvel to do post statues.
Guys, buy the statues, man. The statues are freaking sick.
I feel like every wave of statues,
at least the 1/6 scale.
Yeah, every wave of statues he's done. Like the first wave was like, oh hey, these are cool. Second wave, you're like, oh, dude, these are really cool. Third wave comes out, they've just gotten better. But his license agreement with them, from my understanding, is it's all based on sales. If they don't sell very well, after the year three, they're done. Like they're not going to re-up with McFarlane. So I don't think he's getting the Hasbro license because that would have probably been announced already. Because Hasbro's releasing or showing off, I think they said 2 or 3 new figures that are coming out this year. And if anything was going to happen, they would have it would have been leaked.
That's this year, though. But that's this year. McFarlane's finishing DC next year.
Right, and Hasbro's license is up next year with Marvel.
Yeah.
So if
That
anything was going to happen,
McFarlane.
it would have been leaked out, I think, by now. But never
Maybe
say
I'm not
never.
buying all the DC characters again. Same McFarlane gets Legend. I'm not buying all the DC characters again. Same if you know what? That's true. Well, okay, look,
Yeah,
it's different. It's different if you're going from Hasbro Legends to McFarlane. It's not the same. But going from DC, going from Mattel to McFarlane back to Mattel, if they do the same characters the same way they did them like 10 years ago, there's no point in buying them. And then they're going to be out of scale if you're trying to put them with your Marvel, with your McFarlane's, because McFarlane's 7-inch, and I'm pretty sure Mattel's going back to 6-inch.
yeah. It's a given because all their action figure lines are 6 inches. It would make no sense for them to go bigger.
I don't think the sales went down, right? They just bought the, what do they do? Buy them out, or how's that work?
So, so how the licensing worked with McFarlane is why Mattel won it over is because the license was up for bid pretty much all of last year, and Mattel obviously came with more money. It sounds like, and they
Yeah.
have a bigger global distribution, so that goes into it. So there's a lot of people in like other countries that don't get DC Multiverse from McFarlane because he doesn't have the reach. Like he's a small company still. He's not that big. Mattel is globally known all over the world. So that's a lot of the reason why I think Warner Brothers chose to go back with Mattel.
Yeah, we definitely need a statement from McFarlane.
Yeah,
But it does sound like he lost DC. But he
yeah,
still could be attached in some way with another, like DC Direct. He can still be doing DC Direct. He probably could still be doing statues or cowls. We don't know yet. But it does sound like, as far as action figures go and vehicles go, he lost it. So McFarlane's goal was to compete with NECA. Mattel's goal is to compete with Marvel Legends. I can kind of see that.
so I put the link for LA
What's up,
Times
IE?
in the chat for you guys to read.
Before he loses the license, we need Mr. Miracle. We need a lot still. We need a lot. And we saw so many leaks. But the thing about McFarlane, he pumps out figures like every 2 to 3 months. So we could get a lot of the stuff that was announced or that was leaked.
Yeah,
They should do. Oh, you know what? That's true, dude. McFarlane should do some re-releases.
that would be smart. I mean, he has the molds.
Jokerized ones.
Oh, God.
You guys remember those Batman prototypes Dave Vonder did? Yes, I do remember that. I do remember those. Do you remember that? Do you remember David Vonder? He worked for
No.
Marvel Legends.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he did. He did some Batman figures. It looked freaking badass. At least McFarlane can't complain he didn't do enough Batman figures. It's not him though. It's Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Hasbro is all over the place with their company now. I agree, man. I do agree. I would buy a 7-inch Spider-Man. You know what? This is what I know. Carlos says he doesn't want McFarlane to go to or Hasbro to go to McFarlane or Legends to go to McFarlane, but I think he would do a kick-ass Spider-Man wave.
Well, yeah, because Spider-Man sells. That's like Batman. He'll have a freaking Spider-Man every wave.
And
My biggest thing with reason why I do not want him to do it because he will not get away from pinned joints, and I'm so used to what they're doing
Dude,
now.
but it's not him. It's not him. It's
I
his
know it's not him.
sculptors.
That's the thing is like they don't want to do it, and it's like
They
people
don't
are
want
so
to
used
do
to
it.
Marvel Legends being pinless, and
Yeah.
I just can't see it happening.
I don't know if the 7-page punchers are going away, 7-inch page punchers, because that is DC Direct. So we have no word on DC Direct yet. Where am I going here? What do you think of the Mask figures from Loyal Subjects? The Mask is making figures from Loyal Subjects?
It's the old cartoon that's like G.I. Joe kind of. It's from the 80s. It's from the 80s.
I honestly prefer we go back to getting 6-inch DC figs. Some people do. Next statement is that Ollie's will receiving Mattel figures.
Ooh,
They
actually,
said in the article, they said there's a lot of competition from toy companies trying to get the DC. Okay, but here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. What are prices going to be now?
I think they're going to be what they are with everything else.
You think they're going to be cheaper than McFarlane, or you think they're going to go up a little bit more?
They'll be the same. They'll be $22.99. That's what Masterverse is, and that's what Elites are.
I forgot the Hot Wheels, the Batman Batmobile is one of my favorites. That's yeah, Hot Wheels is Mattel, right? It is Mattel, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's Mattel.
Just joined. What does it mean? I'm not. What does this mean? Am I still not getting Batman Returns after all? It seems like, well, I think it's pretty much confirmed, not confirmed by McFarlane himself, but the LA Times posted starting the second half of 2026, McFarlane is going to lose the license for action figures, role play, vehicles. So
And
he's pretty
playset.
much lost DC and playsets. We just don't know anything about DC Direct yet because DC Direct is not Mattel. And unless that line's going away again. And then we don't know anything about Spin Masters yet either. We're not going to get an 89 Joker. We will not get one because it's too expensive. He's too expensive. This was a money grab. Warner Brothers is so dysfunctional. They look to who's got the most money. I honestly, personally think McFarlane should stay, but that's just me. I mean, I am a huge McFarlane fan, but I still loved what he was doing with the McFarlane line. I just found out about the Batman prototype figures. Man, looks like McFarlane Batverse figures may be over. Yeah, we'll see if he can make the DC Direct figures. I don't know though. McFarlane could do special Marvel figures limited run, similar to how NECA did the DC 2-packs. That would be cool, but sorry if it's already been asked, but I wonder if Tart will pivot their focus to. Okay, so I wanted to talk about that next. So, what does McFarlane do now if they really lost DC? I talked about this with Carlos. I said he can focus more on Spawn again, for one, right? Because before he did the DC line, what was he doing? He was doing a little bit of Spawn, not a lot, a little bit of Spawn, Mortal Kombat, and he was doing The Walking Dead, and I think some anime ones too. So I think now he can focus on Spawn again. He can focus on making better action figured movie maniacs and maybe a little bit more better music maniacs. And then whatever movies WB allows him to work on, because I mean, I think he got pulled away from all his other licenses because he was so busy working for DC. I think now he can focus on other stuff now. What do you think, Carlos?
Yeah, I think that he should literally do what he's doing. Well, what he's doing with McFarlane or DC Multiverse, he has a whole library with Image Comics. Start creating Image Comic 7-inch figures. I mean, you got Invincible, which is huge. You could do a whole freaking wave of that. There's just so many. I mean, Walking Dead's already under Image Comics, so it doesn't really matter there. I would say Wildcats, but that's with Warner Brothers now. He could literally do a Pit figure if he really wanted to, because it's still a part of Image, I believe. I just feel like he should really stick to the comic book company he's part of and just do straight up Image comic 7-inch figures. Like, what did we get in the past? We got Wildcats, we got Youngblood, we got Spawn, we got Max, and
From Image Comics, they got from Image Comics. I mean, there's Gen 13,
Gen 13,
Youngbloods. I'm pretty sure there's Darkhawk. Isn't Darkhawk?
Yeah, Darkhawk.
Isn't that's Image, right?
Yeah.
So like, I mean, but he could do movies too, though. We don't know what movie licenses he can get. He can go back to doing horror.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to do something comic related, I think he should just stick in his own backyard and do all these characters that people have probably wanted Image comic characters for a long time.
Yeah, like Ghost House says McFarlane could pick up from Marvel Select. And that's what Marvel Select is, I think, gone at this point. I don't know what the hell Marvel Select is doing anymore. But that's kind of what DC Direct was to Marvel Legends. So if he does stick around for DC Direct, he can still give us some statues or less articulated figures. But either way, I do want him to continue the Marvel statues. I think those are awesome. I mean, a lot of you guys have said you don't care for them, or the smaller ones are a little too pricey, which I agree. I think they can be about $5 to $10 cheaper for the smaller scale ones, but the 1/6 scale ones are freaking amazing.
Yeah,
So, hey, Ing, what's up, Ing? Let's see. Really hoping something happens with Mortal Kombat license. Yeah, what happened with him in Mortal Kombat? Do you know? With the
I have no idea. But it
I
sounds
did like
like
Mortal
I know
Kombat.
Jaded Toys teased Mortal Kombat, so I'm wondering if
Uh,
they're taking that over.
Maybe Mattel can get the scale right since McFarlane couldn't. Where we were this close to getting Green Lantern's 2011
Oh,
figures and Watchmen figures. Well, at least we're going to get Superman Returns, or I'm not Superman Returns, the new Superman from James Gunn. At least he's giving us that. That's probably going to be the last big thing. No, those are going to come out soon. So I wonder what the last big thing McFarlane's going to give us.
it ain't
I
gonna
want those
be.
owls though.
It won't be Batman. Any Batman movies?
No, but he can go back and work on something. I don't know, man. This is 7-inch works for McFarlane and not worry about 6-inch. I got into McFarlane 2 months ago, and I just feel pretty sad that I got invested in a deadline. It sucks. It does suck. So no Jack. No, from
Nope.
what I've heard from an inside source, no, we're not getting a Jack Nicholson.
And we're not getting a DeVito, and we're not getting a Pfeiffer figure.
You could do movie line Spawn. I would buy, and I've said that many times, dude. Give us an
Mhm.
updated version of the Spawn movie. Give us updated versions on Spawn animated series on HBO. Like you can continue the Spawn line and people buy it. Let's see. Well, WB's trying the cheap route, so they knew cheaper. I don't know, man. It's like I was telling Carlos. I saw Playmates as Power Rangers, and they don't look that great. They do not look that great.
They're
Um,
ugly.
Walking Dead is Image 2. Yeah, yeah. For figures, for DC figures, guessing I will pivot to the new Fonjoy. Go back and start comics. We'll appreciate if McFarlane a lot more. We'll appreciate McFarlane a lot more if they go. I have a friend who owns toy stores that hate them because they tank in prices and don't hold any value. Yeah,
True.
it is true, man.
So
It is
true.
true. It is true. And then they're always at Ross. But you can't deny that a lot of the figures he comes out with are pretty badass.
Yeah.
And again, even though sometimes the scales are off on their vehicles, what other company is giving us vehicles like this?
I think he's really the only one that does it.
Yeah. Articulated movie. That's what I'm saying. Articulated movie maniacs. Maybe Blood Wolf and Blood Strike.
Yeah, but Rob Liefeld is not part of Image anymore.
And see, Rob Liefeld hates everybody right now.
Yeah.
Wonder if they will rush out any back howls. I hope so. I mean, we got the 66 one that's out now, I think. And then we also have the Batman Dark Knight. But I need a life-size Returns. I need like 3 or 4 different versions of BVS. I need it Forever. I need 2 Forevers, the Panther and the Sonar suit. I need a Batman and Robin. So, dude, you better hurry up, man. I have the McFarlane Hulk statue. That's a badass statue. You don't have the Wolverine one, get the Wolverine one. I'm not a Thor fan. Thor freaking statue's awesome. You think McFarlane try to go up the Star Wars license? You know what? I would like someone else to take over the Star Wars line, to be honest with you. Even if it's not McFarlane, I could see McFarlane doing it because of the detailing. He can do some pretty cool sculpting on it, but I would like someone else to take over.
I would like to see
What do you
someone
think?
take over.
Yeah, dude, those are just I don't know, man. That to me, that line died like 7 years ago. Maybe a little less.
They still use like old articulation, like single joints, not even double jointed. Sucks.
Dude, they're still releasing same figures from like 10 years ago.
True.
I love Batman. The Batman Kong came with little Batman. WB put a little indefinite hold on the MK license. All the companies lost it at once, from what I understand. Wow. Oh, yeah, damn, that's right. Well, McFarlane did the statue recently, the Sub-Zero.
Yeah. For the game, yeah, that's Warner
Yeah,
Brothers.
I forgot about that. More surprising was Sandman posting a Gridman figure. he said that last time. He said he was surprised that I posted a. It's like I don't think people know I'm a big Superhuman Samurai fan.
Yeah, he is. You are. He is. Yes, yes.
I just put something on hold from Toy Depot. They got a vehicle in, so I'm a big, and I have the out of print rare DVD from season 1. After collecting 7-inch McFarlane figures, every 6-inch figures feels like I'm holding a 3-point. Dude, that is so true. When I met up with Kevin the artist, Kevin Tran, we met up the first time we actually really met up. I had a few things I was gifting him, and he got me the Wolverine Marvel Legends from Deadpool and Wolverine, and I held it in my hand, right? And I was like, dude, why does this seem so small? He's like, what do you mean? It's 6-inch. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm so used to the freaking McFarlane scales being so much bigger that I was like, they look like a 3.75 figure. Oh God, a Kickstarter Spawn. But the thing is that I don't want Kickstarters. I want a line of these figures. I hope he goes horror again, man. Last year at WonderCon, he teased that. He's going to be at WonderCon this year in next month. So I'm going to go to the panel if he has a panel, and I can't wait to see what he says. He does so many deep cuts that Mattel will never. Didn't you say that?
Yeah, but you corrected me, and you're right. I was like, yeah, you're right. They did do a lot of deep cuts.
Yeah. Until recently, Sub-Zero statue McFarlane released and then glow-in-the-dark Raiden got leaked. Whoa, no way. There's going to be a glow-in-the-dark Raiden? That's sick. McFarlane came out during the pandemic. Yep, sad to see it go. I will always have a fond memory of the DC Multiverse. That was some of the best collecting during the time. I mean, one, it's so memorable because it happened when the pandemic came about. I remember when the first wave came out, they put them out on the shelves and then they took them back because they were street dated. And I remember my wife went back and argued with the manager and basically made her sell them to us for the yeah. And then I've had so much fun doing toy hunts for the McFarlane line, dude. This was when the daily toy hunts was born. You know what I mean? And a lot of it was McFarlane and NECA related for Turtles. And I had a lot of hunts with Robert looking for DC multiverses. So this is an era of my collecting, of my toy hunting that I'm definitely gonna miss. Definitely gonna miss.
It can
Carlos,
change.
It can change, yeah. It can change.
I look at it like in a different way. Like, yeah, it's going away, but yeah, Mattel's going to be taking over next year. But the toy hunt, I feel like, is going to be
different,
not the same, but it's going to be like exciting again because it's not technically a new company, but they're taking over, and hopefully they do a better job than previously. So I feel like there's that positive. They're still going to do like the variants that you talked about. They're still going to build figures. Hopefully they do a lot of vehicles like they never did before. Like play sets would be awesome to see.
Better sculpting.
Yeah, better sculpting. I'm just looking at it in that light. Like, hey, so yes, there's going away. McFarlane's not doing it anymore. And hopefully Mattel can step up their A game and make it to where it's like a sought after thing like McFarlane made it. They're obviously not going to have platinum because that's McFarlane's thing, but I'm hoping that they come out with some other type of thing like Chase idea. Instead of just calling it Chase, doing it something different.
Do you know what made it more exciting when McFarlane took over and we were out hunting for these figures? Was the fact that it was Todd McFarlane. Well, I mean, the guy actually worked for DC. The guy actually drew comics. So that's what made it more exciting. Was one of my favorite comic book creators was working on my favorite comic book characters, especially Batman. So that's what made it more exciting.
I mean, when that line came out, like they were like hard to find. I mean, obviously the pandemic happened, which makes sense, but they were literally hard to find. Then I walked into a Walgreens and found the first wave all sitting there, but they also had them for like way more than Target and Walmart did.
You know, I was thinking like sculpting with Mattel. I will say Mattel did one really. I mean, I'm not knocking Mattel because I like the DC figures, the DCUC figures. Um, they did a Swamp Thing figure that was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. Do you remember that? It came with a mask
Yeah,
or a head sculpt. Yeah, dude, that is one of the best Swamp Thing figures, and Mattel did that one. If they can do figures like that, that is pretty awesome. But then again, McFarlane's Swamp Thing figure is pretty badass too.
true.
Except the Swamp Thing one that McFarlane or that Mattel gave us was like almost like a rubbery figure. I don't know how you would describe that.
Soft,
McFarlane will come back. Oh God, Shrek 5. That teaser, that animation looked horrendous. I thought it was a fan made thing. Why is Rob Liefeld angry? Probably because he's living back in the past and he hasn't moved on. I don't know. I really don't know. I personally like Rob Liefeld. I really do. Rob Liefeld to me, it reminds me of the 90s. So I will always have love for Rob Liefeld, but it just seems like he's a shit talker.
Yeah, he's stuck in the 90s, dude. Like, it's time to move forward. And long story, but yeah, just get over it and move on and live your life.
There is no Toy Depot link code. You have to go in store, unfortunately. Maybe down the line, guys, we can eventually get a link going because they don't have a website.
No, they don't have a website.
They don't have a website. So maybe Thursdays and Fridays, send a DM. I don't know. Did they say anything about that? Can we do DMs if somebody were want to buy something and ship it to them?
No, they didn't say anything. It was all in store. So if you're in the Southern California area or you're visiting, go to Toy Depot in Whittier and just, if you find something, whatever, doesn't really matter, just say no Shill podcast. They'll give you 10% off.
Oh shit! Well, at least he doesn't have to care about guns anymore.
That's true.
Heck yeah, that's true, man. And McFarlane always did awesome weapons too. WB can license a lot of import companies to DC. Why can't they have multiple domestic companies with it? They already did it with McFarlane Spin Masters. I think it depends on the scales too, right?
I'm guessing. I know like McFarlane, I remember him talk about an interview, like he didn't want to do a 6-inch figure because there's already a bunch of those. He wanted to do a different scale. That's why it's 7 inches, and he did it. So I couldn't tell you.
I hope we get a Batman Absolute.
You know what? I would put that as the big figure of
farewell,
either this year or next year,
or it could be the new Batman comic coming out.
Ooh, that too, because that comes out in September.
That's in September. Yeah, that could be the big final hurrah. McFarlane Luke Skywalker would be awesome. Cloth shirt force. Yeah, I think so too. I think McFarlane can do Star Wars. I know Gridman from the anime they had 3 years ago. Yeah, I randomly caught Superhuman Samurai on scrolling through television, and Servo was played by Matthew Lawrence, and Killicon had the voice of Tim Curry, and it was similar to like Power Rangers was and VR Troopers. It was just stock footage that we used. Raphael, I got me Batman Begins, Batman Scarecrow with me. That's awesome, man. Those are good figures. Those are really, really good figures. Did the Matrix in 2003, and it just feels like the new Matrix toys don't compare. He just copy and paste old work? I don't know. I don't know why he does the movie Maniacs the way he's doing them. Do you think that's up to him, or do you think that's his decision on that?
I have no idea. Like, he doesn't just have like, it started out with a WB license thing, and then it eventually went in because now he's doing what? Universal. Yeah, he's doing Universal, so it can't be that. It just must be the thing that he does. Like, think of it this way: who wants an articulated Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber?
I do.
I mean, I do, yeah. But who wants an articulated 40-year-old virgin? Andy?
I do.
You wouldn't want it?
I do. Wouldn't you want him holding onto some figures like on a detox case?
I mean, I guess, but
Dude, I do. I want an articulated freaking.
I don't
Or
know.
if not, give us a 7-inch statue, not a 3-inch statue.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Just
He could do so. I don't know. I'd rather see him go back to horror and literally
yeah,
take out NECA and take everything from NECA and just do better.
he could, man. He definitely could. He definitely could.
I
But
mean, dude,
he's going
look
to
at
be
NECA.
competing now. But he's going to be competing now because now he has Trick or Treat Studios doing a good horror line too.
That's true.
Trick or Treat Studios is definitely stepping up their game. Syndicate, I don't know what the hell's going on with that company,
Yeah, I don't know what's
but
going on with them.
Trick or Treat Studios is right behind NECA right now, and they're doing a dude. They just teased the gate. I don't know if it's figures or if it's replicas. Did you see that?
I did see it something. The other was
Yeah,
it
I don't know how many of you
today?
guys have seen the '80s movies, The Gate, with a young Stephen Dwarf. Check it out, dude. That movie is amazing, and I loved as a kid. That was one of my favorite horror movies, and the fact that we're going to get either toys or replicas from them is amazing. But yeah, Trick or Treat, he'd have to compete with Trick or Treat Studios now.
He could. I mean,
He
dude,
could. He definitely could.
look at NECA, dude. We're not getting the amount of output from us horror stuff. It's all Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, dude. I went to a Target today, and out of the NECA section, it was mainly turtles.
Yeah.
He's able to hold on to DC Direct. DC, okay, I want to go back to this comment from 3D Movie Cinema because he said DC Direct has made some good stuff. I even told you, dude. Yes, they did. They did awesome. Arkham Knight, dude. When I think of DC Direct, Arkham Knight does pop into my mind, but I think of more of the Green Lantern, Blackest Night, was it Whitest Brightest Day. Um,
Yes.
they did a lot, dude. DC Direct did so many awesome figures. They were less articulated, but the sculpts and the paint were so good. So if McFarlane can take that, I'd be happy. I'd be happy with that. Gave who respect for what, Ghost have? Are we getting more Batman movie figures from Todd McFarlane? I hope so. I hope so. I was hoping for larger, more detailed 66 Batmobile, maybe a 7-inch and 60. Yeah, I don't know. He probably eventually could have given it to us because he gave us a 7-inch 66 Batman. I'm used to the McFarlaneisms. You know, it's true though. McFarlane Toys has been around since the 90s, right? Back when it was called Todd Toys, right? So it's like we didn't hear this much buzz from McFarlane Toys, dude, since then. We have
Yeah.
not. We have not. I mean, or since the Spawn, like when he stopped doing the Spawn line. Or I mean, maybe The Walking Dead when the first waves of the McFarlane Walking Dead figures came out about
Mhm.
12 years ago or so. That's he was popular again at that point, but not like this, man. Definitely not like this.
Hmm.
So sorry, I'm looking at my camera here. Um, do you think companies, let's see, do you think companies are trying to move the toys back to being more attractive to kids versus collectors? No,
Nope,
no.
because
These
adult
are these
collectors
they make
are
these, yeah. Adult collectors are the ones who buy these. Us
yeah.
older men are buying these. Mattel, we can also make our figures look like shit and cheaper. Will you buy maximum profit Spidey? I mentioned this before. I have several of them on pre-order, and I'm gifting one to a buddy of mine. And I am most likely going to be doing 2 of them for giveaways. I don't know yet how those giveaways are going to go down. I might wait until when did they come out, Carlos? Because I might
Uh,
wait till Toy Depot, till Geeking
I
Out.
don't remember when they come out. I know it's this year, June, I think.
So if I go to Comic Con, which I'm sure I will, I might carry one in my backpack and give one away if you guys stop me. And I will be giving one away at Geeking Out. So yes, that's how it's going to work for those. It does look really bad. There's no way they'll allow him to keep the 7-inch page punchers through DC Direct. Yeah, I don't know. Zendaya as Shrek's daughter, barf. He's mad because Kevin Feige blew him off. That's what I heard for Rob Liefeld. Hopefully they give better face scans, Nightmare Batman. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Ben, oh yeah, dude. That's one thing I forgot to mention, okay? I mean, we're talking about Mattel and everything. Dude, now that if you look back, Mattel did some horrible BVS figures.
Yes,
Horrible. And at the time we got them and we're like, oh, these are not bad. No, dude. Now you look back, horrible figures. Horrible figures. There goes Superpowers line. I know. And you know, it sucks because, like, think about it, guys. We're over here saying, oh, the 66 line, we're not going to get it no more. That sucks. It's the DC Direct Superpowers line. It sucks. It does. But guess what? Nobody's buying them. Nobody's buying those figures because not everybody is into those style figures. And it sucks because they're amazing figures. They're literally look vintage. I don't like from McFarlane. I remember Superhuman Samurai. Does anybody remember Mystic Knights? I don't know if I remember Mystic. Beetleborgs, yes. Beetleborgs, yes. Young Hercules, of course, with Ryan Gosling. Fox Kids is my life. Me too, man. Me too. Me too. I don't think Hasbro, I forgot they called them Hasbro, will let the license from Marvel slip through their hands, but I can see them letting go of Star Wars. They need to let go of Star Wars, man. Somebody needs to take over. Somebody needs to take over. Holy crap, I'm behind on comments. Let's see. McFarlane could do a Rachel 2-pack. Rachel, put on the back. Which one is worse? Put on. McFarlane doesn't like his articulation. I think WB. It's true. He doesn't like articulation. No. McFarlane has said this many times, but he's doing articulated figures because that's what fans want. So that's why I was saying if he goes back to the DC Direct line, that's exactly right up his alley because it's limited articulation, what his Spawn figures used to be. And I thought that's when he did the best work.
Yeah, but you think if he was to get the DC Direct line or was going to keep it, you think that he's going to keep it or go back to that way? No, they're still going to be articulated.
Yeah, it'll be a certain way for sure. Wait, McFarlane lost DC. Yes, he lost the DC license. As far as we know, he lost the action figures, role play, accessories, or vehicles. We just don't know what's going on with DC Direct. Jada Toys would do great with any license.
Yeah.
We don't know that 100%, but it could happen. Because they do good in Street Fighter, but would they do good in DC? Are they gonna like I'm telling you, like you have to top McFarlane sculpting. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to top the paint apps. You're gonna have to top the like maybe yes, some of the articulation was a little off and the bend in the freaking elbows were kind of. You're gonna have to top, the text. You're gonna have to top all that. I mean, Jada Toys could do it, but you have to top McFarlane sculpting. So that looks great, dude. That looks really good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
If I was Todd as a farewell, I would do a 7-pack OG Justice League with the meeting. That'd be cool. I would do a lot of farewell stuff, like once a month, be dropping farewell. Let's see that. What do you got right there? Is that Ryu or is that?
This is a Jada Street Fighter.
Looks great. Looks great. But again, it looks animated. McFarlane toys look either movie-ish or they look comic booky.
Yeah,
those tend to look more animated.
Like the video game. That's what they're going after.
Right. No. I know, definitely. But I mean, like that's probably what Hasbro is going to look like. Not Hasbro, Mattel.
I mean, who knows?
If McFarlane would get him a TMNT would be awesome. Remember that was a supposedly rumor for Mortal Kombat.
That was the tease for TMNT Mutant Mayhem.
Oh, that's right. We need more Batman Begins. Definitely need more Batman Begins. No more super cool DC toys. What up? What's up, the Holiday and DVD guy? Hearing some Mattel could be doing a Spin Master type situation. You think there's a lot of hope of that? No, dude. I think this is it. I have a somewhat inside source that told me it's a sad day in the offices of McFarlane.
Yeah, and
So
there's somebody from McFarlane who posted on their Instagram today a picture of a lot of DC Multiverse and basically a goodbye. So yeah, it's done.
we just don't know what's going to happen with DC Direct. That's the thing. Hope Mattel can improve their head sculpts. Their bodies are great for He-Man, for example. Todd is definitely a hype man. He was great in selling those DC. I love Todd McFarlane, dude. I do. I love the DC UC line. They have many collect and connect. Still trying to get more. I like the DC UC line. I think it's a great line. I like the Mattel bus armor and Superman Toys R Us exclusive still. Did you see the new Minecraft trailer? Nah, I'm good.
No, don't care.
Have you seen the Heart Eyes movie? I love the movie. I
That was a
love
good
that
movie.
movie. I have all of them open and still look McFarlane. I have all of them open and still look McFarlane.
Probably meant love.
You will never get Batman Returns. Oh God, the Bat ski boat. I wish. Have you seen the Monkey movie? No, but I know I want to. Carlos saw it.
I did see it.
Hasbro going Hasbro because of DEI and ESG. I don't know what that is. I kind of want him to drop a Lobo without the cycle. I think a lot of people do.
Well, he's already done that. He's already dropped a Lobo.
Dude, can you imagine if he did a request line? Like, guys, put your requests out and we'll work on some of them.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That sucks though, because now I'm thinking about like the Supergirl movie comes out in 2026. They're gonna be able to pump out the Lobo Jason Momoa figure and the Supergirl figures by then.
I don't know.
That's
Because
crazy.
what if he still keeps everything like how it is and Mattel makes 6-inch? Which ones will you collect? I will do both. I will definitely buy certain ones from Mattel, but I would probably stick more to McFarlane, but you never know. I'm still hoping the Peacemaker helmet. Oh, dude, that is right. Imagine if you made a Peacemaker helmet.
That'd be awesome.
Gift wired capes for $22.99 to $24.99. The collector's line is always confused, but other than that, great value. That's true, dude. Are they going to give us cloth capes still?
Mattel does cloth.
They do? Okay.
Yeah, they do.
I have Captain Thunder variant. I have that Captain Thunder variant too, T3.
Oh yeah, that one. Pretty cool.
Let's see. I will say one thing: Mattel did better than McFarlane. Their Dark Knight line was better than McFarlane and Joker. Mattel. I really, really love the Dark Knight. Remember, I just found the Dark Knight trilogy wave at freaking Swamp Meet. I bought all of the Bat Signal Build-A-Figure for like, I think it was like $70, all in box. And you know what? I really like the Movie Masters line they did back then too. So they did do a good job on the Dark Knight trilogy movie figures. Oh God, we better get that. I'm still hoping we get that. I'm still hoping Mattel will continue that. They can't stop that, man. It's Poison Ivy, Arkham Asylum is harder than Arkham Knight. We do need another Robin. Bane. There's a Bane being teased. Are you going to buy the Terrifier action figure? Probably not. How is Robert the Scalper taking the news? I think he actually talked to him about it. I don't know. I don't know how he's doing it because he did collect the DC UC, but he was a fan of the McFarlane stuff too. So no Batmobile from Batman. Then damn. Huh? I want Punisher statue from. Oh, dude, that's right. A Punisher statue. So how long until Mattel loses the license again? It seems like DC changes toy companies all the time.
I don't think they didn't say how long their license was.
No, yeah, I don't know either. How long did Mattel have it for? Because when I got back into collecting, Mattel had it, and that was like 2010, I think. And it ended what, 2019, 2018? So they had it a long time.
I think Mattel had it for a little over 10 years or 10 years.
Yeah, we mentioned this. The Mattel, what is
Playmates.
it? It's not Mattel. Playmates Power Rangers do not look good. They do not look good. They should have kept it with freaking Hasbro or go back to Bandai. I don't know. Today, Todd's last DC figure will be a 2-pack Batman and him not wearing shoes. So McFarlane have till December of this year. No, it's supposedly the second half of next year.
Which would
So we still have about a year of McFarlane.
Yeah, we still got a year.
And he pumps out a lot of stuff.
And you gotta understand, like when you make toys, like action figures, they usually have them like planned out a year to 2 years out. So they already have stuff in the pipeline for this year and probably half of next year already.
If McFarlane gets Legends, would you like them to make them look like the Toy Biz? Yes. Okay, that's a great example right there, dude. That's another example of the differences between Hasbro and Toy Biz. Toy Biz is Marvel Legends are what McFarlane's sculpt is kind of like, right? With the texturing, the detail, the cool paint apps. I mean, now the sculpts aren't the best, like the faces and everything. Hasbro did improve a bit on that, but I prefer the Toy Biz ones. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with Mattel. It's going to go from Toy Biz Legends to Hasbro Legends. So we're going to go from McFarlane to Mattel, back to the DCUC. You know what? Now that DC or Mattel's taking over, is it still considered DC Multiverse, or is it back to DC Universe Classics? Like Marvel Legends, they can do the return of DC Universe Classics. I wouldn't mind that.
Mattel had them as DC Multiverse too.
Oh, later on they did, huh?
Yeah, so
I think later on they did.
It'll be the same thing, I'm sure.
But
if they want to change that to not have some confusion, that'd probably be a better idea.
Yeah, you know what? We did get a comic book Harley.
Yeah, she's in wave 1.
Yeah, we got a comic book Harley. That was a sought after figure.
I have her too.
Jack Pacific makes amazing figures. Jack Pacific makes some pretty good figures. Hello, what's up? RG 2 a.m. here. What's up, man? How long before McFarlane DC Multiverse is considered vintage? Next year.
Yeah, July 2026.
It's vintage. Actually, a lot of McFarlane. Oh, but DC Multiverse, no, it's crazy because ever since the pandemic, a lot of stuff has changed. So it's like, I wonder if we're going to start considering stuff pre-pandemic or pandemic vintage. You know what I mean?
10 years is vintage, I think, right?
So like in 2030, 2035, if the asteroid doesn't hit us, we're going to be considering McFarlane DC Multiverse
vintage,
either vintage, or we're going to call it the pandemic era. Dude, we're so behind on comments. Dude.
I'm gonna pose this question out to everybody. Now that this is happening, so in June or July, I think it's June, I believe. That's it. Mattel takes over. Does everyone think that DC Multiverse, McFarlane era stuff is going to be? Do you think the values going to start going up on a lot of these just because, or do you think they're just still going to be the way they are in Tank? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Let's find out.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, right? Did we talk about that?
We did.
If they're going to go up or are they going to go down?
Mm-hmm.
Toy Biz Fantastic Four movie figures are amazing. Last one from me, but as a fellow collector, it's hard buying figures and worrying. Clutter it up. Your house also should. I only put figures out I love and basement the rest. Take care. If you have the space for it, like me, I still have a toy room that needs to be redone. I would rotate it if you can. Rotate it and maybe have a section that you absolutely have to have figures, that certain figures out all year long. But I do recommend rotating. Carlos?
Thanks for coming out tonight and watching this podcast. I have no room. This is literally something I built up, so it's just one thing. So when I have the room to do more stuff, will I open stuff? More than likely. Yeah, but you need a lot of room for this stuff, and I don't know. Like, I'm weird about my stuff, I guess. I probably wouldn't rotate, but then again, who knows? I mean, that can all change. But rotating makes sense.
Let's see. So Venom Bite says, "Did I ever see the leaked Power Rangers?" Yeah, I actually got an email from somebody from Playmates telling me, "Oh, hope to see you at the convention soon. We can work together." I'm like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "How did you even?" Like, they sent me an email on the Power Ranger figures. I think a couple days ago. I think before they even came out, but I paid no real attention to it. So I don't like how they look, to be honest with you. Um, let's see. We just got the Mezco Power Rangers. Do we really need more Power Rangers? It depends, to be honest with you. It really depends. It's like me. I have so many Batman figures. Do I really need various ones? It just depends on the collector. Carlos, don't you think? Like, I'm sure you would buy every Crow version that was made, right?
Yeah,
If
I
it
don't care
just came,
who.
if like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't care who makes it. I'm gonna buy it.
Harley was too big. I agree. She was big, but it was a great looking figure. Let's see. Harley looked like a cartoon to me. What's up, Ket? Look, here we go. Kevin Tran in the who will be at WonderCon. Make sure you guys go check out his booth. Let's see here. Nope, it's still gonna tank. Value will go up. McFarlane's over time. I wouldn't be surprised if the value went up. DC Universe went up. Actually, did they go up? Because I see some of them that are cheap. All these were McFarlane stuff. When hunting, I bet the McFarlane value will rise for the harder ones.
That I could see.
Right here. Value will increase for sure. Vault edition. Flats are like land. God isn't making any more of it. What I missed? You missed a lot, man. We're talking about the DC license. What's your thoughts on it, Kevin? What's your thoughts on McFarlane losing the license? The good ones are going to go up now. Definitely, definitely. I think some of them. I think the movie stuff is going to go up. I
Yeah, you know what?
definitely think the movie stuff's going to go up.
I bet you that Christopher Reeve's 1978 goes up.
Maybe. I think some of the vehicles might go up too. So many McFarlanes go to Ross and Burlington. It's true, man.
Mm-hmm.
McFarlane figs and the first appearance figs. What's your thoughts on Storm, Arena, Street Fighter being more affordable while not losing out on quality? They look good. I thought
They
it was
look
Storm
really good.
Collectibles. That's not Storm Collectibles, right?
Yeah, it is Storm Collectibles.
Oh, it's Storm Collectibles. Okay, it
Yeah.
looks good to me. I thought Storm Collectibles, freaking Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat figures are amazing. Dodd Boog invented toy photography. Who? Dodd Boog? Look nice. Do you think Mattel will lose McFarlane molds like how McFarlane used their animated stuff? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
Ready for something new. Hope Mattel goes back to 6 and more Marvel Legends style Bath and classic characters first. You just hope they're going to make more Supermans. We caught up on comments. Good. We're caught up. Dude, we had a lot of people in here tonight. We had over 100 at one point.
That's a lot.
So thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. The last two pods have been really good. Have been really, really good. I was like, do you guys enjoy these topics? Like when we talk actual news? I mean, we're gonna have our regular podcast, but do you guys enjoy these like random news lives that we do? I think a lot. What does it say? I think here's extra. I think it's a little extra sad because a lot of people, including myself, kind of assume McFarlane would keep. Dude, me too. I don't even think McFarlane even thought this, especially for winning Toy of the Year.
Yeah, this kind of came out of left field. I did not expect to see this happen this morning when I read that.
And I'm a McFarlane guy, man. Okay, CM Brock says yes to this, so I
Thanks,
dig all
CM.
your lives. I appreciate it, Logan. What did Kevin put on here? Like more Superman villains. No, yeah, we do need more Superman villains. I don't normally watch live streams, but this is a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, these are new. These new discussions. Appreciate it. Hey guys, what time do you usually sleep? It depends, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It really does. Are y'all sad about the news? I'm kind of upset. I'm kind of upset. Hey, where you going?
I'm
I'm kind of
50-50
upset.
at this point.
I mean, you guys know I'm a big McFarlane fan, so I'm a little upset. Staying up late for this, I appreciate it, Logan. It's Thursday
Thank you.
night. Come on. I enjoy some of the 12-inch plastic figures that McFarlane did, especially the movie. Yeah, that he did do some great 12-inch scale figures,
Mhm.
man, from DC. He really did.
I think my favorite one in his movie line was the Batman when he did all three of those
Oh,
variants.
dude.
Yeah,
Dude, that's another era of McFarlane that I love so much when he was doing those.
I think I got more into
Uh,
his line because of that movie, honestly.
I think a lot of people did. Spin Masters killed it with that line too, though.
Yes, they did.
I do have a Terrifier Funko Pop. Who we got on here? Doug Smith. What's up, Doug?
What's up, Doug?
Hey, Doug, you look like Professor Xavier there on Sir Patrick. What's his last
Stewart.
name? Yeah, Professor X is in the chat. Mattel threw that money at WB because there was no way Mattel is better than McFarlane. I kind of feel that way too, man. I think WB got offered a lot of money and McFarlane got dropped.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like from the press release, is that Mattel basically won. They threw a lot of money. And I think I put the link to the article in the chat. It's way up there now, but go read it because it'll kind of explain it in a sense, but not really because they're keeping it vague, it sounds like. But I do agree that Mattel has a bigger global reach, and that makes a lot of sense. So they're
Yeah,
going
but
to sell toys.
is it gonna sell more than McFarlane?
I mean, bigger global reach versus a small reach, you're going to sell way more toys.
Yeah, maybe. You guys rocking 7 languages for talking about all this stuff. I still think McFarlane Arkham Knight Batman is incredible. The face sculpt looks amazing. That is a good figure, and thank you.
That is a good
Thank you for
figure.
that. Hope they redrop some Nightfalls. Ooh, yes. Yeah, I thought they're, if I'm not mistaken, they're redoing a new Nightfall. Didn't I tell you that of a supposed leak?
Yeah.
Do you have a Ghostface Funko Pop? I think I do, but I could be wrong. There, you praise me, sir. Will you guys do another podcast? Yes.
Yep.
I do plan on it. I do plan on it. And I'll probably do some videos too on the channel. I bet a lot of people will be asking Todd about stuff at this WonderCon. I'm really curious to see how his panel goes, if he is having a panel.
I'm wondering if he's not allowed
Uh,
to talk about it all either.
could be true. Mattel having a game. Seha mentioned that Mattel would have to get up their game with DC. Do you both feel Mattel will have to up with something to will have to come up with something to
Okay.
Mafex, or like how Marvel Legends is doing Max?
Yes, I feel like they're gonna have to. Basically, McFarlane was kind of doing that with his McFarlane Collector's Edition. That's kind of like, even though it's not like to that, I guess, Mafex scale or articulation, whatever. But yeah, I feel like Mattel's gonna have to. Like, think about it, Mattel does WWE with a Ultimate, which is supposed to be like the maximum type thing. They also do like Mattel Creation, like exclusives. So I feel like Mattel does have to up the ante. Like, they have all these avenues they can go. They really need to win collectors to buy DC Multiverse from them. That's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
I don't think we're going to get Batman Return figures. This is the second reset of the DC line. I wonder how this will impact buyer confidence in getting.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
I think it's gonna. I think a lot of people will go for the change because there was a lot of people who complained about McFarlane, and a lot of people liked the 6-inch line too. If they're going back 6-inch, we don't know yet. Not sure, Raf, if you and Carlos are sports fans, but our Australians NRL football will be playing in the Vegas Saturday USA time. Sharks,
Oh, cool.
Panthers, Tip Sharks. No, what's a sport? No, I was kidding.
What's
Is that a comic book? Is that a comic book line? What is this?
Is it
McFarlane
music?
is not making the best figures every time, but neither is Hasbro. I will miss McFarlane Multiverse. I like the Platinum Chase figure. That's good right there. I agree with that. McFarlane didn't make the best. Well, he made some good figures. So he made some bad figures. He made Marvel Legends made some good figures. Marvel Legends made some bad figures. So yeah, that's a good comment right there. Congratulations, IE. You win comment of the night. T3
And
is going to send you an autographed nude photo of himself.
oh, and now you get banned. Doop. Just kidding.
McFarlane will be going back to making offbeat properties again, such as random movie lines. I think personally, McFarlane, since he got to the DC and he was on top of the toy line, I think he's going to try to stay up there. Right? You think so? I think he's going to try to reach for big licenses.
Oh yeah.
Even though we didn't get a lot of or a series 2 or 3, I don't know how many series they did of Avatar. Dude, those Avatar figures were freaking badass.
Oh yeah, there was 2 series. Yeah, they did 2 waves. Yeah.
What were they called? The Wraiths? The big
I don't friggin' remember, but yeah.
Those were so awesome, dude. And the black light feature on them.
Yeah, and they just sat at freaking Target.
They did.
That sucks.
Mattel lost the line in the first place for a reason. All their figures were garbage. The only thing that they did well was the collect and connect. They did do good collect and connects, man. That King Shark was great. The earlier line, they were getting better with the collect and the connects towards the end. Even though the earlier ones weren't bad, but they were getting really good at the end. Excited to see what McFarlane is going to do. Yeah, why did they lose the license? Does anybody know?
It's basically the same thing that is happening now.
McFarlane.
It comes down to something different.
I love the uniformity of McFarlane. I wonder if they will make similar approach. I don't know. I saw the 6-inch stuff Mattel wanted to do before they lost the license to McFarlane, so I hope they get close to that. Batman prototype was badass.
Hey, you know what? Maybe they will go back and do those one prototypes.
Mattel did articulate a 12-inch Batman Dark Knight. They did do articulated 12-inch figures. I think DC put out Superman movie figures in returns, but that's it. McFarlane Toys would probably be the only company that gave us a great Batmobiles. They weren't 100% accurate, but they were the only company that gave us figures to go, or vehicles to go with their figures. No one else has done it. Marvel Legends has not done it.
Nope.
G.I. Joe does, so you got to give them props. Star Wars hasn't done it. Maybe for the 3.75 figure line, but not for their 6-inch scale line. TMNT technically hasn't done it. It just depends on what line you're looking at. Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of retail toy lines that have given us vehicles for their figures. Does Mattel use butterfly joints? What are the butterfly joints?
The joint, like the arm ones that go all the way, like you can do this.
Oh, I don't remember. Do they really?
Yeah,
you got one on you?
I had a CM Punk. I don't know where he's at, but they do. I feel like they do them like it's hit or miss depending on the figure. So I don't collect a lot of wrestling stuff, so I don't know.
To go on, but you guys usually always stream when I'm working. Dude, we got to have IE Hunter. I don't care. We got to have IE Toy Hunter on here.
After we cancel him or what?
We'll get him on here, and then right when you get, we'll block him. Let's see. Yeah, unless it's crazy, I'm not buying all the DC stuff again. Dude, I guarantee you a lot of people are thinking the same way. Maybe some females that fit the 6-inch line next to the 7-inch. That's a good idea, but is it going to fit the look? That's the problem. Just joined. How's it going, Raphael? What's the topic? Today's topic is McFarlane losing the DC line. Which is your most favorite DC McFarlane figure from 2020 present? That's super hard, man. Look, I can tell you some of the good figures that he's done. I think the Swamp Thing Mega Fig, amazing. I think that is the first release. I think that is an amazing figure. The Red Hood that he did in the 2-pack with Night. I think you said you didn't like that one, right? Or did you?
No, I have
the Nightwing. Dude, the Nightwing on that's great. I thought that was a great. Oh man, that is so hard. Like even trying to think of like what my favorite Batman figure is, dude. I like the one, I forgot the name, the one where he has all the guns. I forgot what that one's called.
Yeah, Grim Knight.
Grim Knight. both versions of the Azrael Batmans were sick. I thought those were really good. The Superman from DC Comics he did was really good. I like that Harley Quinn we just talked about. I thought that was a great figure. I'm trying to think if there was a Joker figure that I really liked.
Probably that Fidgetal one that just came out.
Yeah, but I don't own it.
I don't own it either, but I think that's his best Joker.
It does look really good. There's a lot. There's really a lot. I remember really liking the Man Bat too, from the Man Bat.
Oh yeah, that figure's awesome.
Yeah, I like the new Dark Side he came out with. It's got some issues, but I like it. I think it looks great.
Old school, yeah.
The Superpowers is a great line, and same with the 66 Batman stuff. This is sad, dude. This is really sad. Like, that's another thing too. McFarlane gave us superpowers with vehicles. McFarlane gave us 66 figures with vehicles and play sets. Like, and then McFarlane actually gave us retro figures that look like retro figures. Like, we have the Spider-Man line that's a retro line, supposedly based off of the Spider-Man animated series. And same with the X-Men, that's supposedly based off of the 90s X-Men line. But the figures look the same as your regular Marvel Legend figures. It's just the packaging they made look vintage, right? But McFarlane actually gave us vintage looking figures, vintage packaging, updated characters, but in Superpowers vintage form. TMNT does the same thing too. They did a great job. They do pretty good with their vintage line too. So it's like I don't know if that's going to continue or not, but he killed it in that area. And again, the vehicles too.
To answer your question, JJ, I would say I think one of my favorite ones and one of the ones that was probably the hardest, which is a common figure, was the Fidgetal Green Lantern. That Hal Jordan is the Hal Jordan that I think everyone wanted, and they did it in.
Damn, I saw that here a lot.
Yeah, it was just weird that he did it in such an obscure like line to do it in. Like, why not just do it as a actual DC Multiverse line? That one is hands down my favorite Green Lantern he's done. But like a lot of the movie Batman stuff's really good. I mean, there's issues with him. I feel like he has never done a perfect Superman from day one. There is some good and bad in a lot of them, but all the Superman flight hands are so oversized. They're so bad.
Like this. One hand's like this.
Yeah, it's just they're so big. And I'm like, why? But dude, yeah, I don't know. Green Lantern is probably like one of my top 5 McFarlane toys.
What happened to my camera?
Figures.
You know what though? I will say, did my camera die? Let me see.
I don't know.
Hold on a second.
I'm looking at my stuff now. I mean, who would have ever done a Justice League Task Force video game line?
Oh, let me go change my battery. Give me 1 second.
I don't know if Mattel would have ever done a Justice League video game line, honestly, guys. McFarlane gave us that. Not a lot of people didn't like him. I like him because I had that video game as a kid. I'm trying to think what. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff he did that was pretty good.
Actually, I think I'm just going to use my laptop camera for now. I'm just going to use the laptop camera.
So hopefully that answers your question, JJ.
Well, what about the 3 Jokers, the Killing Joke Joker? Wasn't that like a super hard one to get?
Yeah, but now he's re-releasing it as a comic cover. Yeah, what's going to happen with that now? Like, he came out with a whole new line of comic covers, and that's not happening, obviously.
Hold on a second here.
Snow Blackheart. Imagine McFarlane making the Tobey Maguire trilogy of Spider-Man movie figures. I mean, obviously he would do the raised webbing, which I know a lot of people would like. I just can't get past the pin stuff. That just drives me nuts now. Not saying he wouldn't do a good job. He would do a good job, but I felt like the space sculpts would not be very good.
Oh, I gotta open this app. Dang it. I'm trying to use my phone here.
No. Influence Films. What else is there to do besides DC Marvel toy license? Why is that he could reach for animated films, games? Like I mentioned before, I feel like he could go and get all the Image characters and create a 7-inch line of all the Image comic book characters because they haven't been done and since the 90s.
Using my phone, by the way.
Oh,
Let me go back to the comments here. If you see me looking up, that's because I'm looking at my TV. Reading comments. Let's see. Imagine McFarlane. Did you read all these already?
I read that one and the one underneath.
This is going to be interesting. DC is such a massive property with a huge following. I genuinely don't know how Todd follows this up, even with the Image properties. It's good. I don't know if he's going to be able to top this, to top DC. I really don't think he's going to. He's not going to, unless he gets Marvel Legends. If he gets Marvel, if he were to get Star Wars, and then he could probably top it. We got also prototypes being mentioned were proposed to Mattel but rejected. McFarlane was biz, but he also did it for the love of the game. I agree. Mattel uses Butterfly on their Ultimates, $34.99 ones. Wow. There's several ships in the Black Series. I'm looking at several right now, including the giant TIE fighter.
Oh, I forgot that they did that.
That was a long time ago, though. That was when the Black Series was still good. I just brought the Desert Print tumbler on Amazon for $42 as we speak. They need to start making some turtleneck Bruce Wayne, Keaton, Kilmer. Dude, we need that. We need that turtleneck. That turtleneck Batman.
The bobblehead. Oh, that's funny.
I hope Todd is not punching air right now. Nah, he's not. Todd is going to be okay. But we need the Clooney.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you do a good job of that, Clooney.
Hey, Freeze, I'm Batman. Didn't even change his voice. Like, hey, Freeze, I'm Batman. Because Bruce Wayne's like, hey, I'm George Clooney. Oh, no, I'm Bruce Wayne. He did it same. Even when he was George Clooney, he still went like this.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I love my Clay. Oh, yeah, the Clayface is a good Mega Fig, too.
Yeah, but the only thing with that Clayface is it broke all the time.
I don't think mine broke. I did like the Build-A-Figure Bane that they did with the scarf where a Scarecrow attaches in the back.
Oh, yeah, that one.
The Silver Age Joker is my favorite Joker. Which one's the Silver Age Joker? That's the newest one?
That's the Fidgetal one, yeah.
That one, yeah, that one looks freaking good, man. That one looks really good. If you were in Todd's shoes, what would be 3 major changes you would make for the DC Multiverse line? I'll go first, or you want to go first?
Go ahead.
I would make if I had the power to make these different changes, I would make more variety of characters. I would fix the articulation parts, like the joints, those gaps and everything, and I would make more vehicles that fit the figures correctly.
For me, I would do better face scans of actual actors. So pay the money to get the license for the face. I would do better painting because he didn't always paint the backside of all these characters. And I would give way more weapons for $24 or $22.99. Like you look at them.
Actually, it's more so I would fix the weapons instead of being oversized.
That too. I mean, if you look at a DC Multiverse, you look at the box, you look at the figure. Like, let's, for example, Tempest that just came out. You have a figure sitting in a box and it's just empty. And all he has is those like flame effects that are attached to his hands. That is it.
Yeah.
Why would you pay $22.99 for that? Like, and he's had more accessories. So more accessories, better face sculpts of the actors, and better paint. Paint the whole freaking figure. That's what I want. If I was in his shoes.
Is here, are you going to top the next video from the collector's house? I mentioned it earlier. I was supposed to go on the day after we went live, and I got stood up. They'll never get Marvel or DC anytime soon. They're too small and can't produce the quantity of those companies require. Could be true.
I don't know.
McFarlane used to do more classic characters of superpowers. I'll be surprised you guys didn't say the blue Batman Hush. Oh, that was a good figure. The Hush figures was a good figure.
That was a hard figure to find.
Oh, hey, don't be naming stuff out here. Don't be name dropping.
That's because he's a huge Superman fan.
That's true. Sahad gonna do rated R disco dance this time.
Nope.
They put Turtles and Call of Duty, so Todd should make those. Those Spawn figures I thought were pretty good. I just didn't like the cape that he did for the Spawn. I'm old. I grew up with 66 Batman. I don't know anything about Hush. If you still read comic books, I recommend you get the paperback for Hush. That's a really, really good read. What 3 McFarlane figures that disappointed you in hand? Oof.
Oh
Ooh.
God. That's
I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't tell you on the top of my head, but there was a lot. There was a lot. Damon Wayne, Robin with cloth hood from Page Punchers. Doug Smith, that is my favorite. New Invincible figures from McFarlane. That didn't you mention that earlier? That he should be doing some 80s action movies. I need Arnold. Dude, I would love to see him do some action movies, man. Him doing Image toys will be badass. Yeah, we talked about that. Has anyone asked McFarlane why he never used 3D printing for his scans or sat down to an artistic? No, I don't know. I don't know. That's why they need to have me interview McFarlane. I would be asking him all the good questions, not the same damn question that every freaking interviewer asks him.
Facts.
Oh, you still make comic books? Spawn's still going on? Jesus Christ, man. Happy McFarlane gets Marvel Legends. Hoping.
Nope.
I like the Mega Fig Bane. I like the Build-A-Figure Bane that he did. I love the Batman figure that came out with the gold label, Batmobile, because it reminded me of the Kenner figure with the gold Batman logo. Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that. Use his good sculptors only and use better plastic. I can see him chasing a few more anime licenses. Probably. I know lots of people who want the 6-inch, but I prefer 7-inch because on a shelf, to me, they look more like collectibles rather than a toy. No, I get it. Word is Mattel will do better face prints, pinless, etc. I think that's what Carlos said.
Yeah, they will.
That's like Ray Liotta. What are the Shills going to do now?
They're going to show hard for Mattel.
They're going to show, yeah, they're going to jump all over Mattel. That's what they're going to do. And then you're going to hear all the Shills talk bad about McFarlane, but yeah, they were all on McFarlane's nuts. McFarlane should, I don't think Mattel's going to be better. I wish they're still continuing I wish they were doing the Mortal Kombat line too. Yeah. Well, you ready to call it, Carlos?
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
Yeah, I gotta get up for work soon. So thank you guys for watching. Again, we did this stream. I told Carlos earlier today, I'm like, we got to do this topic, man. We got to talk about this. So, and you guys came through, man. Thank you guys for joining in. You guys got us to over 100 views, which is awesome. And you guys kept the comments going, man. I love that. That happened last week too. I love interacting with you guys. So it's a lot of fun doing stuff like this where we can talk to you guys and get feedback from you guys. So thank you guys for everything.
Thank you guys for everything. And I'm going to remind you guys one more time. This podcast was sponsored by Toy Depot in Whittier, California. If you're in Southern California, go to Toy Depot in Whittier. Mention no Shill, get 10% off your whatever you pick up there, 10% off on Thursday and Friday. And they'll be sponsoring No Shill podcast and my podcast next week. And we're going to do another live probably Saturday. That's up to Seha here.
Yeah, maybe Saturday. Most likely Saturday. I've mentioned before I'm having issues with my laptop, so I can't stream in the toy room right now. I need to have a monitor. That's why I'm using TV, but I'm thinking about just buying a monitor for my toy room and then just start streaming back in there again.
Yeah. So yeah, look out for a thing on probably tomorrow or Saturday if we're going to do a live. We already have another topic that's been a hot button for a lot of things, so we're not going to talk about it right now, but it's something that's currently in the news all the time in the card news, I guess. So that's the only hit you get. But thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate you guys for showing up all the time. Shout out to Kevin Tran. Thanks for noticing the Huntington Beach hat. And thank you guys for being here. We'll see you guys soon, Saturday. Toy Depot, appreciate you guys for sponsoring the podcast tonight. Kevin and Mike, appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for everything. Again, follow our channels, watch our toy hunt videos, and then don't forget, I will be doing an interview with the crew at Mondo Toys next week. So, and I'm going to be going to the Deftones concert next Wednesday. So maybe I'll do a little vlog on that. We'll see. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. So thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you soon. If we find out more news, make sure you guys know where to tune in right here to the No Shill podcast.
Yep.
Where we talking news. We're not no shills, so we'll be saying it like it is. So thank you guys for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Share the video too, guys. And then we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Yeah, subscribe.
Good night. 10 nudes.